Hey guys, Adam here. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the iPhone 4 10 years later. How does it hold up now? By the way, guys, I have kind of a new recording area. Actually, this is not really a new recording area, but this is kind of a little bit of a mat that I found. And I think it better, it makes my videos better because it looks, cleaner and things like that instead of just looking at my desk. So, yeah, let's get started with this phone. So, the iPhone 4 was released back in 2010. And so, back then, there wasn't really a design similar that had a similar design like this, because this is like an almost all aluminum and glass phone. Before that, there were phones like, there were many plastic phones like the Galaxy S and things like that. But the Galaxy S had a glass, glass on the front, where the screen was, but it was all plastic around, all the edges and things like that. So this had a much, much better design, in my opinion. A lot of people really liked this design, but it did come at some cost. And that cost was AntennaGate. Now, AntennaGate was a major problem where I don't actually have, I can't really show you example, but basically what happened was that when you're holding the device at a certain point, your cellular bars would drop, and so that would be a problem because it's covering specific antennas. Now, it would be like these antennas right here, as you can see, right there. And so it'd be a major problem for a lot of people that just bought the iPhone 4 and didn't know what was going on. But anyway, let's get actually started with this phone. Now, the phone, like I said before, has an aluminum and glass design. Now, this is actually stainless steel, so it is a specific, very premium type of aluminum. And it looks very, very good. It's actually very similar to the iPhone X's design, because it also features stainless steel. Steve Jobs thought this was a great design because once the stainless steel wears, then it actually becomes more beautiful. And he's right about that. This phone looks amazing about 10 years later, and it's really just because of stainless steel. And honestly, it's just a great design. Now, let's look around all sides of the phone. Now, down here we have a microphone and a speaker, and then we also have the 30-pin connector, which is no longer on Apple devices. We've used Lightning ever since the iPhone 5, and then on the front, we've got a little camera module right there. As you can see, it is 0.3 megapixels, which means it is a VGA camera. And we also got our kind of microphone for talking on the phone and things like that. On the side, we got our volume up and volume down button and our ringer switch, which has been on OnePlus devices and Apple devices ever since it came out. And then on the back, I am very sorry, this is kind of a little bit cracked on the back, but we have a very nice glass design. The silver, I would say, Apple logo, if you could see right there. And then we also got actually a pretty impressive 5 megapixel camera. Now, that doesn't sound that good, but for 2010 standards, that's actually not that bad. That can record, I believe, 720p video. We also got our little flash right there. At the top, we got a power button and our 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, which, Apple, why did you take that away? But I guess it's not really that bad considering that the iPhone 12 isn't even going to have a charger in the box. And then lastly, on this side, we just got our little SIM ejector area, or SIM area where you put your SIM card. I believe this is a micro SIM, but I may be wrong. Tell me in the comments below if I'm right. So let's turn on the actual device. And as you can see, it actually looks pretty modern because there's actually iOS 7 on here. Now originally this did come with iOS 4, but it was actually pretty impressive that it got iOS 7 because it does not run that well. Let's kind of go around here. Now, yeah, this is running, I believe, iOS 7, but what version is the question? We were running 7.1.2. So, that's okay. I mean, it was originally on iOS 7.0, very, very laggy and bad, but it did improve. But this was the last iOS version. I think it was a good place to stop, considering that the iPhone 3GS did get iOS 6, and so it would make sense that the iPhone 4 would get iOS 7, even though it was a little bit laggy. Now, it wasn't as bad as the iPhone 4S, but yeah, just an example, I'll just go through a couple of apps that you may go, on day-to-day basis. As you can see, there is the camera app, and usually the animations is what the slowest is, in my opinion. Now, that could be different opinions for other people, but that's just me. And also swiping down to the notification center, as you can see. Just going around the UI is overall very laggy and slow. But I am surprised that, it is kind of stable after a couple of minutes using it. And actually, you can load quite a few apps without it lagging too bad. But overall, it is pretty slow. And that is partially because it only has 256 megabytes of RAM. Yeah, you heard me right, 256 megabytes. You haven't heard that in a while. Yeah, this is very, very slow. And I believe this also comes with the Apple A4 chip. I could be wrong about that. I am very sorry. I don't remember every single iPhone's, chip, but, yeah. But let's go more into the cameras here. Now, the camera quality is not that good in terms of 2020 standards here. So yeah, we have a 5 megapixel camera. It can record in 720p. So as you can see, the camera is very kind of laggy, I would say. It doesn't take too long to actually take the picture itself. You also don't have that many video options. So we could go to something like photo or video, actually. You have to swipe. And taking the video here in 720p, yeah, not the greatest. There's really not that much dynamic range. Not the greatest. And things, look blown out, and yeah. Now, it doesn't look the worst, but, I've seen worse. I have seen worse on actually knockoff, like, Android phones, from, that was made probably, maybe a year ago. Like that Xcode 9T was way worse than this. But, yeah, I mean, you do get okay shots. They're mediocre, but I guess you can get an okay shot if you're in very, very, very good lighting conditions, but overall, not a very good camera, not a high megapixel count, so what did you expect? But now here's something that's really bad, and that is the selfie camera. I mean, this is not a good selfie camera. You could already see, I'm not even going to take any pictures or videos. This can record 480p and 30 FPS. Fun fact, this is used in the 2015 MacBook that I have, the 12-inch one. Yeah. So, it is used in some modern MacBooks, but really, this is a VGA camera, so you're really not going to be getting anything special here. Anyways, guys, there's not that much left about the iPhone 4, but it has been 10 years, so I decided to make a video about it. And yeah, I really do like this phone. However, it's very, very obsolete, and really it's just slow. But considering, I mean, it does look pretty modern to something like an iPhone 10. But those bezels are very, very big, and yeah. But just overall, the design is like 9 or 10 out of 10. However, if I had to give performance a rating, it would be in the negatives out of 10. Seriously, it's not good performance. Do not buy this in 2020 unless you want to just keep it as like not a souvenir per se, but like, something like you're a collector of phones, or something like that. You may consider picking this phone up if you're interested of what prices there are. I believe this comes in around $12 to $15, so really not that expensive. So yeah, if you really wanted to pick one up just for collecting, yeah, sure, go for it. But if you're trying to use this as a phone, I would not recommend it. It's just really not that great. And overall, just don't buy it if you're planning to use it as a phone. If you're planning to use a phone and you only have like $20, then I would recommend something like the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime. That video will be in the link in the description. And once again, guys, thank you so much for 200 subscribers. I did make a video on that. But yeah, also, tell me if you like this mat that I have right here, for the background. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. It's a little bit weird on the camera. The camera keeps, overexposing it. But it could just because I'm using Gcam or something like that. But yeah, if you guys really like the video, let me know in the comments below. Once again, link in the description for the iPhone 4, the cheapest price, and also the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime video that I have on my YouTube channel. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.